Hey guys, welcome back to our channel. Today I'm going to go ahead and do a voiceover video. We're starting off with our brows already on, or we're going to be using the Modern Renaissance palette, the Subculture palette. The very first shade we're going to use is Dawn. We're going to go ahead and buff that in the crease. This looks a little bit lighter, but it actually ends up almost like oxidizing and turning a little bit darker. So we're just going to use that first as a transition shade and then going in with Edge. This definitely looks really bright and doesn't seem like a good color for a transition shade, but this is another eyeshadow color that actually turns darker and actually ended up kind of blending into Dawn. So we're going to go ahead and buff that out using the same exact brush. The next shade we're going to take is New Wave, and we're going to do the exact same thing, basically focusing on this on the outer corner and then buffing it in to the inner corner, just doing circular motions or windshield wiper motions, so however you like to blend. I kind of like to do a mix of both of them. As you can see, this shade starts off really vibrant and then kind of almost turns a little bit darker and blends into the other colors. I just wanted to go ahead and add some warmth into the crease before we started going in with our darker shades. Right here I'm just taking a clean blender brush and blending out the edges. I still wanted some warmth, so I went in with Roxy. I actually really like this color from the palette. I know a lot of people had issues with intense fallout, but it actually performed really well. Here I'm just going to go ahead and switch over to a MAC 217 brush, I believe, and taking Destiny. And this one we're going to be a little bit more precise. We're going to start to pack that on the outer edge of the eye and then slowly bring to the inner corner. This one was a really weird eyeshadow. It almost just blended into nothing, and every time I got some particles of the eyeshadow in my eye, it literally made my eye itch. So I had to stop, wipe everything off, and continue blending. And you're going to see in a little bit, this almost is a step that you can actually skip. It ended up making the eyeshadow look a little bit muddy, and this is where you'll see that right now. It turned muddy and patchy, and it basically blended out into nothing. I would suggest just skipping this completely and going in with Untamed, which is the color we use next. But for the sake of keeping both eyes the same, I went ahead and did this on my other eye, packing Destiny on the inner and outer corners and kind of connecting it and then blending it out so there aren't any harsh lines. Like I said, we're going to go in with Untamed next. This is a really beautiful color. You can skip Destiny into this one doing the same technique, just packing it on the outer inner corners, creating that halo eye effect, and then dragging it slowly once there's not a lot of product on your brush into your crease area. Going in with a tapered blending brush. It's very pointed. The one I'm using is the one from Sonia Kashuk. You can go ahead and find it at your local drugstore. But this is basically going to control how much blending is happening and being sure just not to move the product around. You can see I'm kind of focusing that in my crease area and then sort of flicking it out. We're going to go ahead and do the same technique with Access, so packing that on the outer and inner corners, creating the halo eye a little bit lower than where we put Untamed, just because when we blend, it's going to move a little bit further up, so I don't want to start off at a higher location. But again, just packing that out on packing that pigment on the outer and inner corner, and then taking the same pointed blender brush and kind of focusing on blending in the crease area. Going in with another clean blending brush and just buffing out the lines. I'm going to do this quite a few times. I think I went in like 3 times, just packing, blending, just because eyeshadows are really soft and end up kind of almost dusting away when I blend, so I'm just trying to keep that pigment as much as possible. So here we're going to go in with Electric in the center of the eye where we left it kind of blank. I first tried to do this dry, but a lot of pigment was not coming off of my lid, so I went in and sprayed with MAC Fix Plus, and you can see it's like instant pigment, intense. It is a beautiful, beautiful color. I love this one. It's probably my favorite one out of the whole entire palette. So we're going to focus that on the center of our lid and then kind of blend the edges out into Untamed and Access. And here you see me trying to do that right now. I do go in with a little bit more product and kind of overlap those colors just so that it looks a little bit more seamless. I went ahead and did the other eye off camera, and for some reason the outer edge of my other eye ended up acting up. The pigments kind of gathered at the very end, and the eyeshadows turned really, really muddy for some reason in my crease. So here I'm trying to go ahead and kind of blend that out so it's not as intense. As you saw, I wanted the center of the lid pop more, so I went in with the Stila Magnificent Metal. This is the gold one. I'm sorry, I do not know the name at the top of my head, but I just kind of focused that right in the center of the lid to give it a little bit more, you know, something something. Taking Roxy again, I'm going to put that pretty low on my lower lash line just because we're going to do something really, really neat on the lower lash line, but I still wanted a transition shade. So I'm going to do that to both eyes. Going in with this next liner, I do not know the name of this one, but I'll link everything down below. I'm going to go ahead and start creating almost like a wing basically underneath my eye, but I wanted to create a gradient effect, so I went with the lightest green we had to a darker green and then the darkest green at the outer end. It's a really tricky thing to do, but just take your time, go slow. But you're basically going to go ahead and use the liner and draw your line underneath your lashes. You're not going in your waterline, you're basically going under your lashes and drawing it out. I'm overlapping the colors so you can see that easy transition between the three. At the very end, I'm taking this green, neon green eyeliner and basically flicking it out and connecting it to the other color underneath my lash line. Again, it's basically like down wing. For my inner corner, I went in with Cube and packed that on both eyes. I still wanted something a little bit more vibrant, a little bit more pink. This definitely is a beautiful shade, but I still wanted something a little extra, so I went in with the new Laura Geller highlighter and packed that right on top, and that definitely brought it to where I wanted it to be. I lined my lashes with a 4 screen eyeliner just because I wanted something in there. It looked a little bit bare. After this, we're going to go ahead and pack the lashes with mascara. First mascara right here. Second mascara. And finally, the third. Is this extra? Yes, it is. You don't need to do this. I just didn't want to wear falsies because falsies tend to cover up a lot of the lid work, and I definitely wanted that to be the star of the show. So I went ahead and, of course, if you guys noticed, did my foundation and my highlighter and my blush and bronzer all off camera. I will leave the products down below, but the process is the same. The technique is the same. I haven't changed that in any of my videos. So if you want to see how I do my foundation, you can go ahead and check out one of the previous videos I've done. For the lip color, I went in with Mystic Moon from Gerard Cosmetics. No liner, and I added in Cube, I believe. I lied, Electric to the center of the lips and sprayed with MAC Fix Plus. So guys, this is the completed look. If you like these type of videos, these kind of voiceover ones, I know mine are a little bit rough, but bear with me, I will get better. But please be sure to like this video and subscribe before you leave. Bye.